Today's story is also about such a man who, sitting in the basement of his house, built a multi-million-dollar empire of fake medicines, and because of him, many people lost their lives. This man started mixing opium-based drugs into these medicines to make people addicted to them. Along with this, he put the names of big brands on these medicines that were already being sold in the market. He was extremely clever and cunning. And to deliver these medicines to customers, he built such a network that the police could not easily reach him. And that is exactly what happened, because it took the police several years to get to him. This is the story of a man named Aaron Shamo, who at a very young age made a name for himself in the world of the internet. The reason behind this was the trafficking of fake medicines, of which he was the mastermind. In the world of drug trafficking and the dark web, he was known as Pharma Master because he made these fake medicines so perfectly that it was very difficult to identify them, and all this was happening right under the DEA's nose, with just one computer and the help of a few friends. This drug trafficking operation that started small eventually became so big that Aaron was now earning more than $100,000 a day. It later turned out to be the largest fake medicine racket in all of America. This entire story has many ups and downs and several shocking twists, which transformed Aaron from an ordinary man into the mastermind of an illegal drug trade. Later came the revelations that changed the way people looked at online crime. The story begins in Salt Lake City, Utah, where 26-year-old Aaron Shamo lived. Aaron was a college dropout who spent his childhood in Phoenix with his three sisters. But as soon as he entered his teenage years, he developed a habit of smoking marijuana and stopped going to church. This deeply worried his parents, and they decided to send him to a boarding school in Utah, hoping he would change at boarding school. His life slowly began to turn around, and he even earned the rank of Eagle Scout, making it seem like he was improving himself. But during this time, Aaron became friends with a student named Drew Candle. Since Aaron and Drew used to go longboard skating together, they became very close friends. Neither of them knew that this friendship would eventually change their lives forever. Where Drew was a quiet and reserved person, Aaron was very confident and outgoing, always helping Drew mix with people. Gradually, Aaron began to feel that studying was not his thing, and he started spending most of his time in the cafeteria or wandering around instead of sitting in class. Seeing this, stopped paying for his education. Within just 2 years, he dropped out of school, started going to parties, and at the same time began learning and understanding Bitcoin. Since he had left college and his parents were no longer sending him money, he was struggling to cover his expenses. This was the reason he joined eBay with his friend Drew. But within just a few days of working there, Drew was fired. Aaron was so angry about this that he resigned from eBay to support his friend. Aaron had always wanted to become a big businessman. His idols were Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. And so he began reading books like Think and Grow Rich. Now, the biggest question before Aaron was what would he do next? That's when Drew suggested, why don't we start our own business? Although it was just a normal suggestion, this was the very thing that led them into the world of illegal drugs online. A world that shocked everyone. Aaron and Drew were very interested in Bitcoin, but while understanding Bitcoin in detail, they reached the dark web, where they learned that whatever they did here would remain hidden from the world. No one would know anything about them. By 2014, Aaron and Drew started buying some supplies, latex gloves, bubble wrap packing, materials, and gelatin capsule shells, and began making illegal pills. So far, things were still manageable. But Aaron's journey became far riskier and more dangerous when he decided to make fake oxycodone pills using drugs like fentanyl. Fentanyl is a very powerful drug made from opium, stronger than morphine and other drugs. Gradually, they also started selling more dangerous drugs like MDMA and cocaine, delivering them to customers via the dark web and other websites. As their business kept growing, their inventory of dangerous drugs kept increasing. Aaron sold all these drugs under the name Pharma Master Store. And now they also had drugs like Xanax, Valium, and fentanyl powder, all of which were illegal to sell. They even had a pill pressing machine. which allowed them to press raw powder into fake oxycodone tablets. All these pills were sold on the dark web website Alphabay under the name PharmaMaster. That's where Aaron got the nickname PharmaMaster. Aaron had full control over the entire PharmaMaster operation, from running every operation to designing the website store, hiring employees, and managing product distribution channels. He handled everything himself. He now began delivering these drugs to all drug dealers and individual buyers, and with him was the dark web. Very soon, his website PharmaMaster started growing rapidly. His operation was expanding so quickly that he began hiring different people who started delivering and collecting packages all over America. Before long, he became very rich, and people began to think that maybe he had earned this money from Bitcoin. That's why no one asked him any questions. The police and the people around him were unaware of what Aaron was doing behind closed doors at his home, and they had no idea that right behind their backs, America's largest illegal drug trafficking operation was being carried out. By this time, Aaron had earned more than $1 million. But as the demand for these drugs kept increasing, the quality of Aaron's drugs kept getting worse, and this was clearly visible on his online store, PharmaMaster. Customers were now overdosing on these pills, and their condition was getting very bad. Despite these bad feedbacks, Aaron did not stop and kept selling these pills. This was the best phase of Aaron's life, because now he was earning more than $100,000 every day, and that too when people were getting sick after taking his pills. With this immense wealth, he bought himself a luxurious house, a BMW, and also started going to Las Vegas to gamble in casinos, where on one side he was living a luxurious life with this earned wealth. On the other side, people were falling sick and dying from his pills. He had no idea that behind his life of luxury, so many people's lives were being destroyed and how much pain he was causing. Now, the biggest question that comes is, even after earning so much wealth and harming so many people, why was no one noticing Aaron? The reason behind this was the place where they were making these drugs. Aaron was using his basement to manufacture all these drugs, where he had set up a pill pressing machine. The most shocking thing was that his basement had now completely turned into a drug lab, and from here, Aaron was doing all the illegal work. That made him a millionaire, and from here, he built America's largest fake drug empire. Now the most important question comes, how were they making these drugs? To make these drug pills, they first mixed binders and fillers with fentanyl so that the texture and volume of the pills could be perfected. These binders and fillers were themselves highly toxic chemicals, which made the pills even more dangerous. Fentanyl itself is a very powerful drug made from the opium plant, and it is dangerous for anyone who uses it. They used to mix fentanyl with binders and fillers using their bare hands. Along with that, they mixed in the color of the pills they wanted to make fake. This mixture was then put into the pill pressing machine, which would start producing pills. Then, a fake stamp of a big brand would be put on these pills. They would be packed. These fake pills were made so perfectly that the buyer would think they were buying original medicines, but in reality, they were buying dangerous drugs that could be life-threatening. Now, Aaron included another friend in his team, whose name was Jonathan Luke, whom Aaron had met at the gym. Jonathan's job was to make the mixture for these pills and put it into the pill pressing machine to produce the pills. Gradually, Aaron expanded his team even more, and now he included 2 more people. The first was Alexandria, and the second was Catherine. Their job was to pack all the manufactured pills. They would vacuum seal these pills into packets. Then these packets would be sent to customers through different mailboxes. Here entered another key member of this team, because of whom the story later took a new turn. This time, Aaron included his friend Sean Jigi in the team. And after including him, his job was to collect packets from different mailboxes, packets in which they ordered fentanyl drugs to make the pills. Aaron was so clever and cunning that he bought fentanyl from different places and had it delivered to different post office mailboxes so that no one could reach him. To collect these packets from mailboxes, he had included his friend Sean Jigi in the team. Now Aaron had a full team that was making the pills, delivering them, and also ensuring the drugs to make the pills reached him, because of which he was earning immense wealth. But he was unaware that very soon his bad time was about to begin. On the afternoon of June 16th, at the International Mail Facility from where Aaron's drugs were going, the United States Customs and Border Protection team suddenly arrived to do an inspection. These inspections were done randomly to check incoming packages for any illegal or prohibited items, and from this very day began Aaron's downfall. During this checking, U.S. Customs and Border Protection team made shocking discoveries that left them stunned. When they opened a parcel that had come from China, they found fentanyl drugs inside. And when they checked the delivery address of this parcel, one name came up: Ryan Jensen. A week after finding this parcel, they called Ryan for questioning, in which he made many shocking revelations. In questioning, Jensen told them that he worked for a man named Aaron, and his job was to receive parcels filled with fentanyl drugs from China at his address and deliver them unopened to Aaron. After this, U.S. Customs investigation took a new turn. Since the matter was drug-related, they informed the D about it. Then, in November, the D got hold of another packet. In this packet, D found a drug called alprazolam, which is used to make Xanax. Xanax is a banned tablet that cannot be taken without a doctor's prescription, and Aaron's work was exactly this: to make and sell such banned illegal drugs. When this time they checked the address on the packet, the name written on it was Sean Jigi, the same Sean who was Aaron's friend and had been included in his team. While the D was still investigating this packet, they got hold of another packet that contained fentanyl drugs, and this packet also had Sean Jigi's name on it. On learning this, the D immediately went to Gigi's house, questioned him, and started searching his entire house. Under pressure during questioning, Chikui broke down and agreed to cooperate with the D. In this questioning, he told D officers that he used to receive these packets at his address and deliver them to Aaron. Then, after taking the packets of pills from Aaron, he would deliver them to different post offices so that they could be sent to the customers. After this revelation, the D made a plan and told Jigi to continue receiving and picking up the packets exactly as he had been doing so far, so that Aaron would not suspect anything and they could. Caught Red-edged Jigi was the most crucial player in that entire racket, responsible for collecting the parcels that were sent to different people for packing. He would then deliver these packed parcels from homes to the post office, for which Aaron paid him a substantial amount of money. However, D officers instructed Jigi to collect the parcels, and they would follow him. During this time, they observed Jigi collecting 80 parcels from various locations. They had explicitly warned Jigi not to take these parcels to the post office this time. Once Jigi had collected all the parcels, he took them to a local police station with the D officers. The D emptied all the packages onto a table and began checking them one by one. During the inspection, they found one box containing 10,000 fentanyl pills and another with 20,000 fentanyl pills. The discovery left them stunned after finding these pills. The D realized that a massive illegal drug empire was operating right under their noses, putting countless lives at risk. The most urgent task before them now was to dismantle this racket as quickly as possible and stop the distribution of these counterfeit medicines. As these pills were claiming lives every day, the DI decided to arrest every single person involved in this network. On November 22nd, different DI teams began raiding the homes of all the individuals where these parcels were received and packed. Meanwhile, Aaron was oblivious to the fact that November 22nd would mark the last day of his illegal business empire, that the D was about to catch him. On the morning of November 22nd, 2016, the D team surrounded Aaron's house. It was 10 a.m., and D agents began entering the house one by one. Aaron, however, was unaware as he was in his basement playing video games. The DA agents reached the basement and immediately arrested him. Sudden raid left Aaron in complete shock, unable to comprehend what had just happened. After arresting Aaron, the D thoroughly searched his house, where they found pill pressing machines, over $1 million in cash, and powdered fentanyl. During their investigation into Aaron's online store, PharmaMaster, they also discovered that his crypto wallet contained 513 bitcoins, worth $2.4 million at the time which they seized. The bitcoins revealed that Aaron conducted all his illegal transactions using cryptocurrency. Following his arrest, the D also arrested all his friends who worked for him. When the D raided Alexandria and Catherine's homes, they found all the packaging materials used for these pills, along with some ready-to-ship packets for customers. Meanwhile, Aaron's former partner, Drew Crandall, learned about the arrests. Since he wasn't in Utah at the time, he shut down the PharmaMaster online store from another city. However, the D had already gathered all the evidence they needed from the store, thanks to screenshots provided by Aaron's friend, Mario Noble. 6 months later, when Drew Crandall arrived in Hawaii for his wedding, local police arrested him. By then, other members of the racket had also been arrested and were cooperating with the D and police. With every person involved now in custody, the trial began in court. The first name on the list was the mastermind behind the entire operation, Aaron Shamo. On August 30th, 2017, the trial commenced in a Salt Lake City court. The jury charged Aaron with operating a criminal organization, selling counterfeit drugs, importing banned substances, manufacturing and distributing fake medicines, using the postal service for drug trafficking and money laundering. These were extremely serious charges. Later, another charge was added, being responsible for the deaths of those who had consumed his counterfeit drugs. Hearing these charges, Aaron broke down in court, claimed that he believed he was helping people who couldn't afford expensive medications but had no idea his fake drugs would cost lives. He expressed deep regret. He also admitted that his team had made a lot of money from this operation. He alone had earned $4 million. The court sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. On December 3rd, he was sent to jail. Aaron's lawyer, Greg Skordaz, was deeply unhappy with the verdict, arguing that Aaron was only 29 and that the sentence was excessively harsh. He vowed to appeal in higher courts, seeking a reduced sentence since it was Aaron's first offense and he had committed it with others who had testified against him. The court had given them lighter sentences. Aaron's troubles didn't end there. Even if he appealed, it would likely be rejected because the defense lawyer revealed that over 90 people had died from his counterfeit drugs, a staggering number. The exact count remained unknown since investigators couldn't track every customer who had purchased the pills. The defense lawyer also stated that Aaron was solely motivated by money and had no regard for the lives lost due to his drugs. Aaron stood as proof of how far people would go for personal gain. It's different to the suffering they caused. After Aaron, the trials of his 8 friends began. They had cooperated with the police and testified against him. The judge, Dale Kimball, sentenced them separately based on their roles. Drew Crandall, Aaron's first partner, received a 4.5-year sentence for buying and selling illegal drugs on the dark web. He was Aaron's right-hand man, mixing powders and drugs in pill-pressing machines. He admitted he joined the illegal business because he needed money. In 2015, sold his $40,000 stake to Aaron and moved to New Zealand, but returned later to handle customer service. Alexandria and Catherine from South Jordan received 3-year sentences each for handling pill packaging, and also from West Jordan, 3 years for purchasing packaging materials. Mario Noble, who provided the DEA with screenshots of the online store, was sentenced to 2.5 years. He managed all online orders. Sean Gigi, responsible for transporting parcels, received 2 years. Christopher, the last member, sentenced to 10 years, the longest for buying a car with illegal money and managing pill distribution, earning $1 per pill in commission. After Aaron's imprisonment, his defense lawyer revealed in a press conference that Aaron's team imported a powerful white powder from China via the Postal Service to Utah, where it was pressed into pills. His website, PharmaMaster, processed 70 to 80 orders daily, making him a major name on the dark web. The pills were first ordered on the dark web and packed and shipped through different post offices. Shockingly, these pills were packed in various homes disguised in coffee bags with fake return addresses to avoid suspicion. Even if intercepted, the fake addresses prevented law enforcement from tracing them back. Further investigation revealed that Salt Lake City mailboxes were filled with these parcels, some small for personal use, others large for drug dealers and gang members. Ultimately, Aaron's appeal to the higher court was rejected because the pills he created for luxury had cost too many lives. In court, one victim's mother testified that her son had undergone leg surgery and ordered painkillers online, unknowingly receiving Aaron's counterfeit pills. Unaware they were fake and made in a basement, he lost his life after taking them. This is the story of a man who started as an ordinary schoolboy, trying to steer his life in the right direction. But one wrong decision pushed him into the dark world of counterfeit drugs. While he amassed immense wealth, many paid with their lives and, in the end, he too ended up behind bars.